What if I told you that a franchise that still captivates me even to this day, a British Secret Service agent, was starting to show stardom on the next generation, and a taxi game that had a wicked soundtrack still holds a piece of my gaming heart to this day? Join me again on a trip down memory lane as I uncover my top 5 PlayStation 2 games. These games aren't just classics but personal legends of mine. You might be surprised on some of my picks, or maybe you'll find your own forgotten favourites. If you enjoyed this series so far, please check out the playlist link in the comment section down below, and don't forget to give us a like and hit that subscribe button. Before I dive into the main content, I want to mention our affiliate link. This channel's affiliate linked with the Rugged Gamer's online store, Nerd Bazaar. The Nerd Bazaar offers a wide variety of products from Dungeons and Dragons, dice sets and tabletop cards to detailed 3D figures, statues and collectibles. Check out the link down below and use code FLIPBOOK24 at the checkout store to get 10% off your purchases that you buy. A new decade, the rise of a new era. The Sony PlayStation 2 is the best-selling console of all time, achieving unpredictable commercial success. It first launched in Japan in March 2000, followed by a highly anticipated release in North America and Europe later that year. Throughout its production run, the console sold over 160 million units worldwide, one of the longest lifespans of any game console in history. Several key factors drove its popularity: a diverse game library spanning multiple genres, backwards compatibility with PlayStation 1 games, and an integrated DVD player. My mates loved the DVD player and used it extensively for watching films and TV box sets, but I was more interested in keeping my beloved PlayStation 1 games. The PlayStation 2 also introduced a DualShock 2 controller, a refined version of the original with pressure-sensitive face and shoulder buttons. Personally, I enjoyed what the console had to offer in terms of compatibility with games, compact game storage, the flexible horizontal and vertical standing positions that made it easy to fix in places for your entertainment setup, and DVD optional entertainment as well that it provided. Most of all, what I truly mattered to me was the incredible selection of games that developers produced for the console. And with that, I would love to share my top 5 games that I remember from my personal collection. Number 5. Everything or Nothing. James Bond 007 Everything or Nothing came out in 2004 as a third-person action game, which was different from other Bond games that usually were first-person shooters. Made by Electronic Arts, the game is known for its high-quality original storyline and famous actors that provided voices for their character roles. The story was written by Bruce Furstein, who wrote several Bond films and focused on a plot involving weaponized nanobots, tiny robot machines used as weapons. This was a popular theme around the time, and especially for the PlayStation 2 games, with franchises like Zoe and Metal Gear using similar ideas to this. The bad guy is Nikolai Davo, a former KGB agent connected with Max Zorin, a classic Bond film villain from the 1980s, A View to a Kill, starring Roger Moore. Nikolai, voiced by William Dafoe, wants revenge on Bond for Zorin's death. His plan is to use tiny machines to destroy metal and take over the world. Playing as Bond, voiced by Pierce Brosnan, you travel to 4 continents, including Egypt, Peru, New Orleans, and Moscow to stop Nikolai's plan. Everything or Nothing changes the series from first-person view, like GoldenEye 007 by Rare on the Nintendo 64, to third-person, letting you see Bond as you control him. The new camera angles made the game feel more like a film, with more focus on stealth, hand-to-hand fighting, and using the environment. The driving missions feature numerous high-speed chases and vehicle combat sequences. You pilot vehicles like Aston Martin, Porsches, and Triumphs, all equipped with special gadgets from Q Branch. The game rewards you with Bond moments when you complete a task with style, whether it's pulling off a slick movement or using a clever gadget. These moments unlock upgrades for Bond, but however, it can be quite annoying. Hearing the 007 short 5-second outbursts every 2 minutes when you finish an objective, it's like having a song stuck in your head when you're trying to sleep. I put this game at 5th place. Number 4. Medal of Honor European Assault. The Medal of Honor franchise deserves its own series on my channel alone. Medal of Honor European Assault is a first-person shooter set in World War II. Developed by EA Los Angeles and released in 2005, it was the 8th installment in the Medal of Honor franchise. The game puts you in the role of US Army Lieutenant William Holt, an agent of the OSS. The story was written by screenwriter John Mills, known for Apocalypse Now. Follows Holt through 4 fictional campaigns across Europe during World War II. Your overall goal is to stop a Nazi officer, Graf von Strider, if I've pronounced that right, who's developing a dirty bomb for Hitler. The game takes you to France in 1942, North Africa in 1942, the Soviet Union in 1943, and finally Belgium in 1944. The game features a linear level structure like the previous entries to the franchise. The mission structure includes primary objectives with secondary on the sides, on which you can get bonus medals for completing them. You can command a squad of allied soldiers who provide cover fire and help with combat. A new feature temporarily grants you invincibility and infinite ammo by stringing together kills and scoring headshots. The game was one of the first in the series to include usable iron sights for aiming. I really enjoyed the cinematics, action-heavy missions, and music scores in this game. Some critics noted that the game hadn't improved in graphics at all from its predecessors, but I did not judge the game on the graphics. I judged it more for the entertainment and how many hours I put into the game. It was the early 2000s, and even though this came out in 2005, I was still dealing with real life issues. Entertainment was a best distraction for me, and this is why I am definitely putting it on number 4 on my list. Number 3, Crazy Taxi. Ho ho ho, it's Crazy Taxi. The words that still are in my retro mind to this day. I played this game non-stop, both console and in the arcades. I was obsessed with the game. While my friends enjoyed Tony Hawk's and Call of Duty, I was all about Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi was developed by Hitmaker and published by Sega. The game is an arcade racer famous for its high speed, over the top gameplay. Players take the role of 4 taxi drivers with a simple goal: earn as much money as you can within the certain time limit. The more passengers you pick up, the more time you get. The game's first debuted in the arcades in 1999 before being ported to the Sega Dreamcast in 2000. The gameplay mechanics were crazy, mayhem, and totally wild. I think it was just most of the time I spent on the game trying to beat my score and set records. The passengers' fare is based on how quickly they're dropped off. A timer takes down, and if it reaches 0, the passengers jump out without paying you. However, performing crazy stunts increases your earnings. Players are encouraged to drive as recklessly as possible, hinting Crazy Taxi being the name. Color-coded passengers are identified with $signs on top of their head. Red is a short trip journey, whilst green is a long one. Longer the trip offers higher potential fares, but also carry more risks. The arrow navigation points players in the general direction of their destination. However, it doesn't show the most optimal route, forcing the player to find creative shortcuts. The game features real-life companies such as Pizza Hut and KFC. I only learnt through research that Crazy Taxi had a series, a huge success, and led to multiple sequels and spin-offs, including Crazy Taxi 2 2001, Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller 2002, and several mobile versions of the game. I really enjoyed this game so much that I would purchase it again at a retro fair if I saw it, or even saw it online. So for me, this deserves a 3rd place. Number 2, The Getaway. The Getaway was a mini competitor to GTA at the time, featuring a detailed in-game environment of London, England. The Getaway was an exclusive PlayStation 2 action-adventure game released in 2002. Inspired by British gangster films like Snatch and Get Carter, the game unfolds across 2 interlocking storylines that run parallel to each other and eventually converge. The developers spent years carefully recreating 40 square kilometers of central London. They used thousands upon thousands of captured real-life streets, landmarks, and building interior. This level of detail made me curious how developers create environments and interior artwork using 3D software. Each level felt like a movie set. The game had no on-screen map, health bar, or ammo count. Funny enough, my dad and I played this entire game without healing. We did not know how to heal ourselves until the last level, when it was really difficult. We didn't know what to do, so Weirdly enough, we just stood next to the wall. Then all of a sudden, the character started to breathe heavy and put his hand on the wall. And after a few minutes, his health came back. Because with that, we knew by the way his posture were. My dad and I was amazed that we only just discovered this on the last level. I remember my dad turning round saying, chuffing hell, if I knew that we would have completed this game a lot sooner. But the fun what we had both together on this game was amazing. The game had a cover and shoot system similar to Metal Gear Solid 2, where you could press against a wall to shoot at enemies. You could also use human shields, which added to the game's violent and adult feel. It felt like playing through a Crazy Twins story. The Getaway Black Friday came out in 2004 for the PlayStation 2 as a sequel, but I didn't buy it because my number one game took the spot. And before we find out what the number one game is, let's have a look at our honourable mentions. Number 1. Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty stands out as one of the most controversial, ambitious sequels in gaming history. Released in 2001, the game opens with an incredible prologue aboard a tanker in the Hudson River. Playing as Solid Snake, players infiltrate a vessel rumoured to house the new Metal Gear prototype. This opening sequence is masterfully crafted with stunning and improved graphics, gameplay mechanics, and also not forgetting cinematic music scores as well. After the tanker's prologue, players are introduced to Raiden, a rookie operative who replaces Snake as the main protagonist for the remainder of the game. Metal Gear Solid 2 refines the stealth gameplay of its predecessor with improved AI first-person aiming and a wealth of new mechanics, including hanging on ledges, dragging bodies, and using lockers for hiding. The controls feel tighter and more gripping as level designs, particularly in the Big Shell facility, offers numerous approaches to each situation. The boss battles remain remarkably imprinted in my mind forever, from the explosive confrontation with Fat Man to the surreal encounter with the creepy vamp. All I can say about this game is that it was a true privilege and highly anticipated for me to play. I ended up pre-ordering this. I remember from game and literally could not wait for it to get launched. Well, that's it for another episode. I'd love to know on your thoughts on my top picks and what you owned. I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I have. Feel free to share your top 5 games on the PlayStation 2. Be sure to check out the previous episodes in this series in the comment section down below. And thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And this is Flip signing out for another episode. Bye bye for now.